Hi, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is, I forget what I called it. Oh yeah, Knit and Crochet with a Gilmoregirl. My name is Cheryl Lynette, and of course my last name is Gilmore, which hence the reason why I call it Gilmoregirl. So this is a knitting and crocheting podcast. I am so excited to do this. I'm a bit nervous. This is only my third video I've ever put up on YouTube, so I'm quite nervous. I've never done a knitting or crocheting podcast, so please bear with me. I have nothing fancy here, nothing in the background, except you can see in the background a picture of David Phelps, one of my favorite singers. And, I am so excited that you are here to join with me and to talk about knitting and crocheting. So as I said, my name is Cheryl Lynette, and you can call me Cheryl. And I am close to 40 years old. I'll be 40 this year, November 2017. I'm not ashamed to say it. 40 and proud. I just began knitting literally about 3 months ago. And I'm still not very good at it. And I've been crocheting for about 3 years now. And I'm just starting to get serious into that as well. So I decided to do a podcast to videotape my journey in the knitting and crocheting world, and I'm so happy you're here to join in with me. So, I live in Canada. I live in British Columbia, Canada, in a little town called Merritt, and or it's a city, but it's a small city, and I don't work. I babysit part-time. I babysit about 30 hours a week during the summer and a little bit less during school season. And I am on PWD, which is Persons with Disabilities, because I do have some disabilities. I hope to get off of it someday, but right now I kind of need it, so I can't work full-time. So, okay, so I'm looking at my book here to look and see what I want to talk about. I'm really nervous, so I'm so sorry. One thing you'll know about Canadians, we say sorry a lot, and that's totally true, because I say sorry all the time, so. And I don't say a, although I do once in a while, but not very often, so. So you can find me on Ravelry at Gilmoregirl39. And you can find me on Twitter at Gilmoregirl777. I apologize, they're two different names, but they were set up at two different times in my life, so that's why they're two different names. In my Ravelry profile and posts, I'm not very active right now. I do have a few projects on the go, and they're posted there, but I don't have any of my stash listed, which I don't have much, and I don't have any pictures put up, so, but I will be doing that soon, so just stay tuned. Let's see, I talked about that. So, I just want to talk to you about the podcast that inspired me to do this. I really love watching knitting podcasts, and I started watching them probably about a month and a half ago. I just, out of the blue, just put in knitting podcasts on YouTube. I typed it in, and there we go. So I'm subscribed to a few, and I watch a lot of them. Some of my favorites are the Bakery Bears, of course, with Kay and Dan. And one of my favorites is Sarah at the Canadian Knitter, being that she's Canadian, and she's wonderful. I also like Nikki at Tea and Possibilities. I believe she's in the UK somewhere. I don't remember where. I watched so many, I don't remember where they're from. But yeah, so those are just a few of the podcasts I watch. I totally recommend them. They're wonderful. The women are really nice, and the men are nice, and I'm friends with all of them on Ravelry, so they're very open and very nice and very kind, so they're fun to watch and just inspiring, so I would recommend them. So most knitting podcasts have a drink, and I forgot to get one, so I don't have any tea or anything, but I usually drink tea or coffee or Diet Coke or Diet Juice. I am a diabetic, a type 1 diabetic, so I don't like a lot of sugar, so except in my ice cream. But and my ice caps, I like my ice caps, and they have tons of sugar in them. You don't believe how much sugar they have, but I like them. Okay, so I decided I'm going to talk about my finished objects first, and then my whips, my work in progress, and then my future whips, which are my projects I intend to do sometime soon. And then I was thinking of just talking about something that's near and dear to my heart, and I would like to talk about that for a few minutes, and then I would also like to talk about, gotta turn my page here, what I'm reading. I do like to read as well, and a quick talk about that, and then, oh, I can't read my rating. Oh, right. Okay. And then I was just going to talk about my week and see, just say how everything's going and talk about doing this channel. I also do another channel called Read with a Gilmoregirl, and that's about Christian books and decent books, and ones I recommend, and the ones that I will be reviewing, and I've only got 2 videos up right now, but I'm intending to do that, so check that out too. It would probably be easier to find if you go under Cheryl-Lynette Gilmore, and it's easier to find than putting in Read with a Gilmoregirl, because that comes up with tons of different things, so yeah, sorry about that. So first I want to talk about my finished projects. I don't have much. One reason why I want to do this podcast is to kind of push myself to get more objects done. I tend to start objects and then rip them out and do something else. And I don't know why I do that, but I do. I don't know. So, I don't have the colorways or even the brands of the yarn I'm using, because I throw them all away, and I didn't even think of doing a podcast, so I didn't think of that. So I will start keeping the names of the colorways and the brands and the amount of acrylic and everything in them soon, more often. I say a lot. I apologize. I'm very nervous. If you stuck with me this long, be proud of yourself. So, there I go, saying them again. I started knitting and crocheting for a special friend of mine, and she lives in Ontario, Canada, and she is having a baby girl, and this baby girl has some heart issues, and it's obvious in the womb that she has heart issues. And so I have been knitting and crocheting for this little baby and praying hard, and we believe that God will do a miracle, and so we're just praying for that. But I decided to knit and crochet for this friend of mine and her baby girl, and she also has a, how old is he? I think he's 4, he might be 5, a little boy. And I'm decided to make them my project for this next couple months. So, I don't have many finished objects, and some of them I don't know what the pattern is. I found it on Ravelry, and for some reason I didn't put it on in my library or anything, or in my whips, and so I don't know what pattern I used, and I really apologize to the people who have designed these patterns. First, and I'm really sorry about that, but this is the first one. It's a bib. It didn't turn out as well as I wanted it to. It curled up. It's a crochet one. I still haven't weaved in the ends. It curled up, so it's not really that good. I'm going to have to do it over again. But I love the color. See the color? Isn't that beautiful? Lots of different colors in there. So that's 100% cotton. Again, I don't know the brand or colorway, but so that one I'm going to have to redo, but I do like it. I like the pattern. I'm going to have to find the pattern again. And when I do find the pattern, I will let you know what the pattern is and give credit to the designer. I have a dress that I made, and this is the sweater dress for babies by Kelly Kearney. I don't know if I pronounced her name right. It's Kearney. It's a free, I believe it's a free download, or it might be just a free pattern on Ravelry. And I made this cute little dress. I haven't finished it yet. I haven't woven any ends, and I haven't put the buttons on. There'll be little buttons here, like that. See, you can see those colors. There's purples and blues. That's a little bit, it doesn't really show. The sun is going down, and I don't have much light in the house, so it's kind of hard to see the colors. But if you look at it from this side, it looks better. It's a small little dress. I didn't make it as big as I should have, and I didn't put sleeves on it. I just left it as a summer dress. It's supposed to have sleeves, but I thought it was cute this way, and I thought it would be cute for a newborn, but I don't know if it's too small or not. I don't have any kids of my own, so I don't know what size to make it, but I think it's cute, and if she doesn't wear it, that's fine. It's the thought that counts, I guess, eh? So that was made in acrylic yarn, 100% acrylic, and I love acrylic because I'm allergic to wool, and I'm probably allergic to alpaca, and I use acrylic and cotton, and I'll be using, what's the other one? How come I can't think of the word? Anyways, the one that you make nylon, you make socks with, so I'll be using that as well. But right now I'm using acrylic and cotton, and this is acrylic. Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? I like it. It's my first real project in a pattern that I did, where you have to watch every row. And it's my first clothing item I've ever done, so I'm excited about that. Then for the 4-year-old, or 5, I'm not sure if he's 4 or 5, I think he's turning 5 this year in October, but I am making a granny square blanket. So he loves the color red, so I've got this beautiful red yarn, acrylic yarn. I don't know what the colorway is or the brand, but again, I'll start doing that more frequently, so I can let you know. And this is just a big granny square that's going to be a big square blanket. So it's going to be probably about 5 times this size when it's done. And this is done crochet, and it's a very simple granny square pattern. I also would like to do tutorials, so I will show you how to do this sometime. And if you don't know how to do it, it's really quite simple. It's just double crochets, basically. And it's really easy to do. I've got something hanging there. What is that? Well, anyways. So, yeah. So I'm going to be making that. I'm also making knitting a baby project. Oh, these are my whips, by the way, not finished projects. Sorry. My works in progress is I have, I'm in the middle of a row here, but I have, I'm knitting a baby blanket. So I've only just started, so I've only got, in the middle of a row, so it's kind of hard. It's on circular needles. I've only done that much, and it's 120 stitches, I think. It might be 150, I don't remember how much I put on, but the pattern calls for 120, and I'm not sure if I put 150 on or not, but it's beautiful. It's just, it's the, let me look here. New Super Easy Baby Blanket by Pearl Soho. And it's a free pattern on Ravelry. And all it is you cast on the 120, or however much you want. And then you knit the first row, and then you you slip stitch the first stitch, on your yarn, and then just do the normal, my mind is going blank here, garter stitch, just the plain garter stitch, knit stitch, and just do the whole row, and then start again, you slip and go on, and then when you change colors, you knit till you're done your skein, and then you put a new color on, and you don't slip the first stitch on the new color. You knit it, and then knit the whole row, and then the next row you slip and then knit. So the pattern calls for, I was going to get pictures up on my phone and I forgot to do that, so I apologize. But the pattern calls for 8 different skeins of yarn, different colors, and it, basically looks like this all the way across, and I just took my needle out. There we go. And you just knit until you're done your skein, and then you put on a new skein, knit till you're done that, and you do that 8 times with different colors. So I'm planning on doing this pink, a white, 2 blues, a light blue and a bright blue, a purple, a light purple, and just one purple, light purple, and some green, and probably a light pink, and I don't know how many that is, but I want to do 8 skeins, at least maybe 10 skeins. So this project will take me a while. This was like 2 hours work, people, because I'm not very good at knitting, and it takes me a long time to do it, and I'm just learning. So I just learned how to purl stitch just recently, so I learned from the library. I was at the library, and this librarian came up to me and asked me what I was knitting, and I said, well, I'm trying to make a blanket, but I don't know how to purl stitch. So she sat down and taught me. So that was really cool, because I don't know anybody who knits in my town. So, anyways, so this is going to be a big blanket. So I hope to be done by Christmas, hopefully before Christmas. And I want to make some more bibs, and I want to make some dishcloths. I've been making dishcloths. I don't have any to show you because I sold them all. I actually sold about 7 or 8 of them to 2 different people. So it was basically the Grandma's Favorite Dishcloth by Ruth Slate. And I knitted those, and they loved them. The size that's on the pattern on Ravelry, it's a free pattern. And the size that's on it is like the perfect size. She does them a little bit bigger than normal dishcloths, and they look gorgeous. They're the perfect size, and then it's always good because it's cotton, so if it shrinks a little in the washer and dryer, it's still a good size. So my 2 customers were very happy with them, and they'll be ordering more, so I'll be making more soon. And I want to make some dishcloths for my friend who has the 2 kids. I also want to make some more baby stuff. I want to make a cocoon, and we're into the future whips now, sorry. We're doing future whips, and they include some more baby stuff. Don't know quite what I'm going to make all together, but a bunch of baby stuff, and I'm going to mail them in about a month or 2's time. The baby is due at the end of September, beginning of October, so I'm frantically trying to get all that done. One other future whip that I'm excited to start doing is sock knitting. I am so excited. You won't believe how excited I am. I want to sock knit. I want to knit socks. I don't wear socks, but I would wear the socks I made because I put a lot of work into it. So I would wear them. But I don't know how to knit socks. I've never done it before. I don't know how hard it is. I've heard that it's hard. But if you have any advice for me, please leave comments and let me know what pattern I should use. I know there's different heels you can use, and I don't know what the best way to do. So please give me advice. I would love some advice. So socks are definitely in my future whips. I also want to knit a sweater. Being that I'm large, I'm gonna have to knit a big sweater. But maybe I'll That'll give me incentive to lose weight. So I don't have to knit such a big sweater. But, yeah, so those are my future whips. Next, that's basically all I have for knitting and crocheting right now. If that's all you wanted to watch about the knit and crochet, then thank you so much for watching. Feel free not to watch the rest of the podcast. But if you're interested, I do have something to talk about that's very near and dear to my heart, and that is Tourette's syndrome. Tourette's is a neurological disorder. It is a medical disorder. It was recognized as a medical disorder in 1999. Before that, it was considered a psychiatric disorder, and basically you were sent to psychiatrists and you were told that your tics, and which are noises and movements that you can't control, your tics were because of stress. How do I know this? Because I have Tourette's syndrome. Yes. I am on medication. I've been on medication for about I was diagnosed when I was 11, so I'm almost 40 now, so that's 29 years, so yeah, and I've been on medication, basically the same medication. I've tried different ones, but I went on this one medication when I was about 12, and I've been on the same meds since then. Tourette's is a very heart-wrenching disorder. You probably haven't noticed me do any tics, and that is because I can hold them in, a lot of them. Some of them I can't, but a lot of them I can hold in while I'm in public, or when I'm talking to you on the podcast, and then I have to do them when I'm alone and in my apartment alone. I am pretty well controlled, so I don't do a lot of tics. One of the most common tics for Tourette's syndrome is swearing uncontrollably or cursing. And I fortunately don't have that tic, so I'm very blessed by that. I can't imagine being a Christian, I can't imagine being in church and just start cursing like crazy and nobody really understands why. And Tourette's is caused by, they believe, by cortisol level in our brains, and it's just not working right, and our brains don't work right, and they cause what are known as tics. So the tics is spelled T-I-C-S, Tourette's is spelled Tourettete''S, and it was discovered by, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Gilles de Tourette's, Gilles Detourette's. There's 3 names. He discovered Tourette's syndrome back in the 1800s, and it was never really, or 1900s? I'm not sure exactly when, I don't remember, but, 1900s it would be. But, Tourette's is a very heart-wrenching disorder. It's, very hard to handle being the person who has it, and also being the person who is dealing with that person. Being a parent, a doctor, a sibling, a friend, a family member, a stranger, everybody reacts differently to the tics. I know when I was younger, I did my tics every 2 or 3 seconds, and I would usually scream, like really loudly, or bark, or grunt, or make some kind of noise. I was very vocal. That was a tic. Sorry. That's one I can't control. It's just opening my mouth and making weird faces. But it's kind of embarrassing when I'm eating. I can't feel it come on. It just comes. So it's kind of embarrassing, but whatever. So Tourette's is very hard to deal with in every aspect, in every position of the person involved. So my parents were very supportive. my mom especially. My dad was great too, but I was very close to my mom growing up. And she never gave up on me. She never, I'm not sure she ever thought that I was doing these tics on purpose, as some of the doctors were, some of the psychiatrists were, some of the teachers were, some of the principals, some of the people in restaurants. Everybody thought that I was doing it on purpose, but I'm not. I don't know if my mom ever did, but I like to think she never thought I did it on purpose. So, but I got kicked out of movie theaters and restaurants. I got teased. I got laughed at, made fun of. I got copied. I got yelled at. I got rude remarks, people yelling at me. I got stared at. I even had a policeman come up to me once and ask me if I was high. And so it's very hard to deal with. I can't imagine what it's like being a parent of someone with Tourette's. It must be heartbreaking to watch your kid go through this. As the person with Tourette's, I know that personally it's very hard to deal with. You're embarrassed, you're scared, very embarrassed. You feel like an idiot sometimes, you feel stupid, feel like a loser. You can get depressed really easily. Feel like nobody loves you, nobody cares, everybody hates you, you're never going to make friends. And I just want to say to anybody who has Tourette's, especially if they're a child, keep going, because it's going to work out. It's going to work out. I met my best friend, fortunately, when I was 11 years old, just before I found out I had Tourette's syndrome. And we instantly became friends, and she didn't even care that I did tics, and we didn't even know what it was at the time. So she didn't care about that. The only thing she cared about was me, and we've been friends now for about 28 or 9 years, 29 years. Yeah. So keep going is my advice to those dealing with Tourette's and those dealing with children with Tourette's. Keep your faith, trust in God. He does know what he's doing. He will look after you. And just keep going. Don't give up, because it does get better. People are starting to understand more on Tourette syndrome. It's not nearly as stigmatized, whatever the word is, as it was when I was diagnosed in 1989. As I said, in 1999 it was recognized as a true medical disorder and not a psychiatric disorder. So things have gone up since then. Things have gotten more awareness. People are understanding it a little bit more. The doctors are understanding more. And the teachers are understanding more. And it's going to get better. So just keep going. And if you have a child with Tourette's, or if you have Tourette's yourself, please feel free to talk to me. I would love to talk to you about it. Give any advice I can give, or just be there for you if you want to chat and let out your frustrations. Please leave a comment below, and I will get in touch with you. Okay, so thank you very much for listening to that. It's something that I really wanted to talk about because it is something that is has affected my life very much and has affected a lot of lives that I know. I know a lot of people with Tourette's. Well, not a lot. I know about 4 or 5 people with Tourette's that are friends, and their stories are sad and hard to handle. And the ones that are growing up now with Tourette's have it much better, and I'm so happy that things are getting better. They've still got a long way to go to understand Tourette's and understand the people dealing with it, but it's getting better, so just keep going. Okay, after all that, I think I am done. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. and I hope you enjoyed this. I know it's not very fancy. I don't have anything technical going on because I don't know how to do it yet. I have a fan going because it's very hot outside and very hot in my apartment, so I hope it's not too loud. And thank you so much for joining me. Please, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, the thumbs up button, and subscribe. I would love to have you subscribe. I'd be honored if you would. And we'll see you next time. I'll podcast in probably another week. Okay? Thank you. You can follow me at Ravelry, at Gilmoregirl39, and at Twitter at Gilmoregirl777. Thank you. God bless you and all you do. Happy knitting. Bye.